So you're thinking of moving to Maricopa, Arizona? Well, in this video, I'm going to be your map tour guide. I'm going to show you some of the upsides and downsides of living here in Maricopa. We're going to discuss some businesses that are here and that are coming. And if you stick around until the end, I'm going to show you an awesome tool that you can use to compare crime rates here in Maricopa to other cities so you can pick what area is best for your family. And you're not going to want to miss that. And we're getting things going right now. If this is your first time to our channel and you want to know everything there is to know about eating, sleeping, drinking, living, and moving to Maricopa, then make sure to subscribe below and hit the bell icon so that you can get notified every time I drop a new video. My name is Mike Millett, and I get questions, texts, phone calls, emails from people just like you all the time about Maricopa and the other Phoenix suburbs. So if you are planning to move to the area, then I would love to talk to you and help make this the smoothest move possible for you. So I'm going to give you just a super quick, basic, easy history of Maricopa, just so you have some building blocks to work with as you're getting to know the town. Maricopa was named after Maricopa Indians that were close by here, and when it was established as Maricopa Wells, it was a railroad town that helped build up the gold rush community in California in the mid-1850s. After that kind of fizzled out, and through some different transitions, it became a farming town, agricultural. And through that evolution, that process over the next several years, it gained a lot of attention with certain people, like John Wayne, for example. He used to have a ranch out here and a pretty big presence, as well as some other kind of Western-oriented people. So you'll see touches of John Wayne and other things, like the main road through town is called John Wayne Parkway. So it's 347/John Wayne Parkway, depending on where you're looking. So flash forward to 2003, when Maricopa was established and incorporated as a city. We had a whopping 1,040 people here. And now in 2024, right now, we are past 70,000 people. So in just over 20 years, we've exploded, relatively speaking, and it's becoming a great place to live, and I'm really happy here. I love this town. It's not necessarily where we're going to live forever, but the affordability here is pretty hard to beat, along with just the type of town and the type of people that live here. It's a great community. So all right, so let's have a look at Google Maps and get started on things. All right, so here we are. This light colored area here is Maricopa, and you'll notice kind of right away that to the west and to the south is the Acton Indian community, and also to the north and the east, this is the Gila River Indian Reservation here. Maricopa is the only city in the U.S. that is bordered by 2 Indian reservations. So. But they, especially the Acton Indian community, have a really symbiotic relationship with the community on most things. But we'll get into more of that in a little bit. So if we back out a little bit, you'll notice that there's this main road, the 347, that goes through Maricopa. And that's kind of, when people live in Maricopa and they want something to complain about, that's the main thing they complain about. And also we'll go into that more in a little bit. But for now, just note that it's the main road in and out of town. Up here is the Phoenix metro area. All right, and Phoenix kind of encompasses this whole, let me actually get the drawing tool going. Okay, encompasses, roughly this area. All right, so it's a huge landmass. It's the 5th biggest city in the country now, population-wise, and it's surrounded. It's basically closely integrated with other cities nearby. So Glendale, we've got Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, Tempe, Mesa, Gilbert, Chandler. This down here is part of Phoenix. It's Ahwatukee. So let's see. So Sky Harbor Airport is right here. Got the Desert Botanical Garden right here, as well as the Phoenix Zoo. And there's also Hole in the Rock, which is a really great little day hike, super easy, but it takes you up to a really cool scenic spot where you can look out on the city. Great view there. Okay, so it's pretty common for people to commute from Maricopa to Phoenix metro area. So this trip right here, north on the 347, and then hitting the 10 and going further, that right there takes about 20 minutes on with no traffic. All right, from here to downtown Phoenix, that's like 47 minutes. From Maricopa to Sky Harbor Airport, all right, this is the 143 right here. This is what you usually get off of. Going in there, that's about 37 minutes. So we're going to plot those out on the map, see what Google Maps says for the actual times in a little bit here. So the problem with the 347 here is it's a 2-lane road either way. And so when there's an accident or some unforeseen circumstance, it can suddenly get backed up, and then people are running into problems with getting to work or home late. So there is an alternate route, and it is continuing along the I-10, okay, through Casa Grande and up through the Maricopa Casa Grande freeway. All right, so this will add about 20 minutes onto a trip versus this, but obviously if there's an accident this way, then that might be better. To be fair, I pretty much just always use Google Maps to help me figure out if I should be taking that extra route, but I usually don't. I'll usually sit through a little bit extra traffic if I need to. One of the reasons that I do that is that the 347, a lot of times when you're driving down here, you look to the left or the right, and you'll see wild horses kind of just roaming around. There's a few different pods of them. Sometimes you'll see groupings of 100 wild horses. And when you do, people will pull over and take pictures and videos, and it's just kind of a really cool sight to see. Sometimes they're close, sometimes they're far, but as a result, horses are kind of the mascot of Maricopa. So you'll see kind of right here, Smith Yankee Road, the southeast corner, where it meets 347. There's a sculpture of several horses, just kind of a nice little touch. Maricopa also has had a couple contests where local artists have gotten to compete, and the winners get to decorate some individual horse statues, and those are scattered throughout the city. So, and there's a couple other things that they've gotten to do as well with local artists. So just a nice little touch there. All right, so if one were to, let's see, drive from Maricopa to downtown Phoenix, let's see what it looks like right now. So 48 minutes, all right, so right about in line, and that's with a couple little slowdowns, nothing too bad. Let's see, Maricopa to Sky Harbor. Okay, 36 minutes right now. All right, and we have another airport over here. Yep, Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport. Mesa Gateway. So yeah, it's about 46 minutes right now. So I actually really like the Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport. It's not perfect for everything, but there's only a handful of airlines that fly out of there, like Allegiant, for example. But they can be great because they get us up to Utah to visit my wife's family periodically for pretty dirt cheap. So definitely worth checking out. Parking's easy there too. They've got an economy lot that's $7 a day. We've used that several times. Pretty great. Other major points of interest. Flagstaff is up here. Let's see. That is not how you spell Flagstaff. 2 hours and 53 minutes from Maricopa. Well before Flagstaff, like there's a lot of camping, a lot of evergreen forest through here. The Tonto National Forest, for example, has a ton of great places, and temperatures in general are way cooler up here, so good place to escape during the summer. And then Tucson is down a little bit south. All right, and 1 hour and 30 minutes to Tucson. All right. So, and then one thing that maybe not a lot of people know about is Maricopa. When we're leaving town, we actually take this road, Smith Yankee Road. But then if instead of going north on the 347, you go straight on the 238, which changes to the 8, and we go through, Yuma right there, and then all the way to San Diego. So it's actually more or less a straight shot to California beaches over there. So if we were to drive there, we're looking at a little over 5-hour drive time, which is not bad when you need to get some, salt water. All right, so we're just gonna touch on some of the main neighborhoods, the main HOA areas in Maricopa. There's a lot of them, and there's a lot that are growing and developing, so it's kind of hard to mention them all. It's just gonna be a laundry list. So coming into 347, the first thing you'll see, there's often a sign here telling you about events that are happening in the community, which is a nice touch. But to the right is Cobblestone Farms, as you can see here. Over here, this is Rancho El Dorado. This is one of, if not the first, master planned community in Maricopa. So there's a lot of lakes and little green touches here. It also has the Duke at Rancho El Dorado, as you can see, but that is a golf course that is open to the public as long as you pay for it. But worth checking out. It's a popular spot for a lot of people in Maricopa. Over here we have the lakes at Rancho El Dorado. A lot of the bigger and more expensive homes in Maricopa are here. You can get homes that are backed up to the lake, and there's some really pretty spots. And then we have the villages over here. This is Province. Okay, this is our 55 plus community. It is gated and guarded 24/7. Really pretty area there if you are able to get in. And then this is Homestead. Homestead North, kind of generally up here. Homestead South is gated down here. We also have Maricopa Meadows here with Maricopa High School sitting right there on the corner, and Santa Rosa over here, and a lot of other stuff here. Most of it isn't quite as developed yet as these are. Emily, my wife, could probably go through and tell you every single HOA here. That's not necessarily my strength, but with that said, if you are moving to Maricopa, then you might want to know what kind of homes are available in the different areas. So let's have a real quick look at that. All right, so we're just going to pull up the MLS real quick. All right, let's go to just active single family homes in Maricopa. Okay. Okay, so that's going to bring up some over here as well, but those areas haven't really been incorporated into Maricopa, and some of them can be roughly 30 minutes out because they don't all have good roads to them. All right, so we're looking at 466 homes currently. So let's try to break it down into some ways that are useful to you. Okay, so if you need a small place, a starter home, let's say 2 bedrooms, 1 or 2 bedrooms, 41 homes currently for sale. Okay, so those are roughly where they're spread out. Now notice that most of these are in Province. That's the again, the 55 plus community, because a lot of people that are in that stage of their life, they don't need a lot of extra rooms. So some of those will be bigger, some of those will be smaller, and meant for entertaining. There's that one outlier there. Let's take a look at the price points for those really quick. Okay, so let's do ascending, starting at 310,000 up to 549,000. All right, and a lot of these are new builds in Province specifically. All right. Let's step it up a little bit. Let's say 3 bedrooms to 4 bedrooms. Nope. Let's go 3 bedrooms to 4 bedrooms. Not sure how that happened. Okay, so now we get things, quite a bit more spread throughout. Notice also that most of Maricopa is to the east of the 347, aka John Wayne Parkway. and there's not a whole lot to the west, mostly because it comes up against the Ak-Chin community sooner. All right, so if we have a closer look at those homes, organize them again by, or make sure they're organized by price. On the lowest end, 269,500. Okay, on the high end, 340,000. So that's not really high price point at that point. So a lot of great homes. Some of these are new builds, not all of them. We're gonna look directly at the new builds in a little bit here after this, actually. Okay, and just for fun, let's see 5-bedroom plus, 46 options. Okay, again, they're spread basically throughout Maricopa. All right, not too many here at the moment, but price point again, I mean, you'd imagine these are in the 900,000s, $1 million homes, right? But instead we're looking at 340 to 749,750 at the high end. And just out of curiosity, I want to see what this one looks like, because that is expensive for a Maricopa home. Okay, that pool looks amazing. Oh, and yeah, that makes sense. Backs up to one of the lakes. Okay, so it doesn't have the most updated finishes, but I mean, it looks epic still in certain ways. Over 3,600 square feet, 5-bedroom, plus an extra room, built in 2013. So it looks gorgeous. In other places, here in Arizona even, this home would easily be over $1 million. All right, so let's break it down by price. Actually, let's kind of see how things sit. We'll take out the bedroom requirements, and let's see, list price, let's do 600,000 and higher. Okay, so 15 homes. We've got some in Cobblestone Farms and Rancho El Dorado and the Lakes and Homestead. All right, Rancho El Mirage. Okay, and let's have a quick look. So yeah, some are new builds. Anytime you see something like this, you know, that's obviously a rendering. It's new build, and a lot of times, you know, you'll see one listing that actually represents like 20 homes. You usually don't get to see all of the options in here. Okay. All right, and then let's see. Let's drop down a little bit from, say, 400,000 to 599. Okay. 189 options. Okay. So there's some very large homes in this price point. Like, good luck getting homes this big for these price points in Chandler or Phoenix or Scottsdale or Mesa. Those cities are all great and wonderful, but for affordability, yeah, Maricopa's top notch. So, okay. Yeah, and a lot of the homes here have big backyards. If you do want, you know, acres of land, then that's where you want to look further down here in Thunderbird Farms and Hidden Valley area. So there's some a lot of good options down there. So, but here your lot sizes are going to be, you know, in the range of 3,000 to 8,000, in some cases 15,000 square feet. Okay, and then let's drop down a little bit further. Let's do 300,000 to 399, just to kind of see what those are. 248 options. So within that $100,000 range, we have 248 options. That's the biggest chunk, actually. You know, based off of how we separated it. So all kinds of homes here. Again, a lot of them are large. In fact, just out of curiosity, we'll do, how many of them are 4-bedroom at least? 96 homes under 400,000 with 4 bedrooms or more. Okay, so that's kind of crazy. A lot of those are, again, new builds, and you have options throughout. You know, the communities that are right up against the 347 or the ones that are further out. All right, now let's see what we have under 300,000. Still 13 options. All right. And as usual, we have some new builds that are poking their heads in here. Okay, so that represents several homes that are that price, around that price point. But even the lowest priced in Maricopa right now, $269,500. This home is, you know, lived in and whatnot, but it's a great starting point, starting price for a starter home for someone, or for an investment property, or, you know, just a home that you own, that is yours, that you can build equity in. You know, assuming that you're someone who needs to live somewhere, putting money into a home that is going to be your own, building that equity is one of the smartest things you can do. You know, because someday you're going to need it for retirement, or you're going to need it to sell and buy another home, or you're going to need it to start your investment strategy. Renting is, you know, very much a short-term, this is what I have to do for now, but as soon as you can, figure out how to buy, because this is how you prepare for and set up your future. All right, and I've been there too. I was a renter for years, up until, well, this house actually, about 5 years ago, and it has been a game changer for me and my family. And I never honestly thought I would be able to buy a home, so this was almost a surprise once I realized that it was even possible. So let's have a look at the new builds. You'll see there's quite a few at the moment. And also of note, I'm not super familiar with these communities, but keep in mind that these are available, and this is more in the Hidden Valley area. But a lot of the homes that we see, they are in, this is the Rancho El Dorado, the Lakes area. So 429 to 504. 389 to 509, 429. So generally these ones, there's some of the 300,000s here, but a lot of them are going to be in the 400 and 500,000 range. Okay. Province, we already kind of had a little bit of a look at that, but Province, the 55 plus community. All right. And we are seeing a little bit of price drops, which is a good thing for buyers. So as of right now, you know, we'll just call that $300,000 to $400,000 range. All right, going south a little bit. This is just above Copper Sky, which now a real quick story. I had a buyer. I had some clients that just bought here just a few weeks ago at Santa Rosa Crossing, and on my advice, they hired an inspector. They used the inspector I'd like to recommend. He is a master inspector. He teaches out of school, and he trains other inspectors. And after seeing this home, he was really impressed, which is a good sign when your inspector's impressed. You know, his job is to find anything wrong with the property that he can, and he usually has pages of stuff, even on a new build. Keep in mind, but with this new build, he barely found anything wrong. It passed with flying colors. I mean, passed isn't a word that I should use, I suppose, but he was finding things like a smoke detector is beeping periodically. There's a screw missing from a side panel on the air conditioning outside, and really not a whole lot else. So for it to go that well is a very good sign. That was a Centex home down here. Can't say that they're all going to be that good, but it's a great sign to have an inspection like that. So keep that in mind. So those ones are in the $336,000-$400,000 range. So that fits. That's in line with what they paid for theirs, and they got it at an interest rate that was I think around 5%. So considering that the average interest rate is above 7%, that's kind of phenomenal. We have this down here, West Santa Rosa Springs, 354 to 379. Okay. Let's see. Going a little further east in town, this community at 469 to 687. That makes me want to see the 687 price point. What does that look like? Anything in the 600 for a new build in Arizona or in Maricopa is pretty big. So yeah, over 3,000 square feet. All right, those are going to be gorgeous homes when they're done. Okay. Other homes, Rancho El Dorado. There's some Tortosa home. Yep, there's Tortosa homes, 389, 399. I wish it organized this differently so I could show you kind of just the groupings. If I zoom out, it should put them together. 96 homes from. Let's see, okay, yeah, it doesn't want to show me. Before 10 and 332, 354. 316 to 417. So all in all, like getting a new home for less than most anything you can get in almost this entire area, especially because those homes come with a year plus warranty, year bumper to bumper warranty, if you will. And the coup de grace, the best thing about new builds is in a lot of cases, kind of like my clients that bought here, they're offering major buy downs to interest rates for loans. So, where the average is 7% plus, give or take, they are buying them down to 5.55%, 4.5% in a lot of cases, which equates to a few $100s usually per month that they're saving you by buying those down, and these are for the life of the loan, not just for 1, 2, or 3 years like you see in a lot of cases in resale. So there's a few reasons that I really like the prospect of new build homes for my clients, but the interest rates, that's probably the biggest one right now. So let's touch on the businesses in Maricopa. You'll notice 347 is probably the number one complaint people have about the town, just because it can get backed up. And right now we actually have some construction happening here in the hopes of setting up for future widening of the street, of the road. But for now it's causing some delays, which has been a problem for some people. But businesses in town are probably the second biggest complaint, because we don't have a Sam's Club or a Costco here, but we have most everything else. The only real thing that we're missing, in my opinion, that's critically important, is a Home Depot or a Lowe's. There is a Home Depot being built right here, which is 6 minutes away from me, so I'm pretty happy about that. In the meantime, we have most everything to fit your needs here. Karsten's Ace Hardware has been our hardware store in the absence of a Lowe's or a Home Depot, and it's one of the bigger ones that I've seen. So it's their prices aren't always the best, but they do the job. Amazon, incidentally, also delivers here. Most things are next day delivery. They do have a lot of things that are same day delivery too, so it's not too far out of the way for them. But anyway, with that said, we have Karsten's, we have Bash's over here, which is an Arizona local grocery store. Sprouts Farmers Market. We have Fry's over here, which is a Kroger brand. And along with those businesses, of course, we get all the regulars like Burger King, Taco Bell, Wendy's, Sonic, McDonald's. There's Starbucks and Dutch Brothers and all of that. The one thing I will say that might be lacking a little bit here is there's not a ton as far as medical goes. So if you have specific medical needs, I would suggest that you do some research on what's available here before you make a commitment, if that's like a make or break thing. We don't have a true hospital here. We have the exceptional community hospital in Maricopa, but that's a smaller establishment that doesn't necessarily do everything. But otherwise, there's the regular boutique businesses, and there's been a lot that's been developing there. Coming down to 347 a little bit. In this intersection here, or in this general area, just south of the train tracks, there is supposed to be a major marketplace coming here, including Lowe's is currently scheduled to build here, as well as a major national grocer. I'm really hoping for Winco. I love Winco, but right now the closest one is about 45 minutes away. They have been in talks to open a store here, but as of right now, nothing's been confirmed. And then there's supposed to be dozens of other, retailers, other fast food stuff places mostly, I'm sure. Okay, so if we come down Mercado Street, here is where that Home Depot is going to be opening. Tractor Supply just opened a few months ago. Walgreens, there's another Walgreens and a CVS up here. But Walmart is here. Where are they? They're not showing up. Okay, there we go. I was just going a little bit too far south. So Walmart is here. Slim Chickens recently opened up. Bosa Donuts just opened up. We have Walgreens. We have, let's see, Big Five Sporting Goods right here as well. Okay, so that's a Walmart Supercenter. It's one of the bigger Walmarts that I've seen. We don't have a Target. I don't have visibility on if we're going to get one anytime soon. But Maricopa is getting, pretty populated, so I'm sure it's just a matter of time. In the future, it's kind of projected that this will be the center of town versus where we kind of see the center of town right now in this area. So that kind of gives you an idea for how much, we're expected to continue growing. Because of the 347 issue, we really do need additional lanes. But if you are someone that either works online, you can do most of your work remotely from a computer at home, then you're set. If you are someone who can find a job in town or have a community-based job, then you could be set. Anything that helps you avoid 347 during rush hour is going to be a winner. And that's when it makes the most sense to move to Maricopa, because you get the benefits of the smaller town and the community here, and the great home prices without having to worry about that commute. Now, as far as restaurants go, we have a lot of smaller places. We have a lot of local Mexican restaurants. Some of them are really good. We have a little bit of a thriving food truck community here that have helped fill in the gaps as the established restaurants continue to grow. So they'll show up at some community events here and there, and they have regular parking spots. Some of them are really good, so definitely check them out. We have some sit downs like Denny's is here. We don't have an Applebee's currently. I think they used to be here, but they left, but are considering coming back. There is Nando's Mexican Cafe. Let's find them here. Nando's is an award-winning Mexican restaurant. Oops. Nando's in Maricopa. And here you also, since we're zoomed up here, you can also see Dunkin', McDonald's, Culver's. Freddy's is up north a little bit. Cold beer and cheeseburgers. Oh, there we go. They opened up not too long ago either. Marshall's. There's also a Ross in this general area. There's also a lot of the typical like auto stores and tire shops. So, those are pretty much all covered pretty well. Headquarters Cafe is a nice place. There is several hole-in-the-wall places. Roots Eatery is kind of a local favorite. Not a ton of seating, but they've got some creative dishes in there that are really tasty. I've enjoyed eating there. If we zoom out a little bit, take a moment to go to Harrah's Ak-Chin Hotel and Casino. So they have this entertainment center here that has a couple restaurants in it. It's supposed to be really good. We tried eating there once, but they were only taking them as reservations. I guess it was, kind of during COVID when we last tried. But this also has some laser tag in it, bowling, and an arcade. This also has the town's only movie theater right now, so it does the trick though. So it's either watch movies there or watch them at your home, or drive to Ahwatukee. There is the AMC Ahwatukee 24 right here, and that's depending on where you are in Maricopa, that's between a 20-30 minute drive, so still not bad. And you can do a lot of your other shopping, because over here we have pretty much everything: IKEA, Home Depot, Lowe's, Target, and a lot of the high-end retailers as well, because this is a high-end area. So yeah, there's a lot of places to sit down and eat. Oh, and let's not forget, let's see, Native Grill and Wings is here, and Barrow's Pizza. There's a Wingstop and Pizza Hut and all those too. So there are a lot of options, and a lot that I haven't necessarily brought up here because it would take too long to pull them all up. But it's not, you know, a full spread like you might find in a bigger, more established cities. But there is a lot coming here still. We get new things announced all the time, and when this shopping center, you know, really starts popping, it's going to be fun to try out all the new restaurants there. Oh, and there's actually one other place I'd like to mention, a place called True Grit that actually made an appearance on Bar Rescue. I haven't seen the episode, but let's see if we can play a little clip without YouTube pulling it down. So this is here in Maricopa. Yeah, so that was fun. That was exciting. I've been there once or twice before they transitioned from True Grit, and now that they're the Roost, which is another John Wayne reference, by the way, look it up. I've only eaten there once, but it was super good. The food was delicious. The waitress was knowledgeable, fun. We went during a slow time of the week, and it was a great experience. So we will be back there. We also have Box Canyon Recreational Area over here, which is BLM land. It was basically empty land that people used as a range, and then they just converted it, made it an actual range. Casa Grande has a few too. We've been to those once or twice. So if that's your thing, you know, there's some good shooting spots not too far away. Volkswagen has some proving grounds out here. Arizona is big for like automobile proving grounds because we have kind of the extreme of the dry and the hot. A lot of companies will bring their things here to test them. And then the University of Arizona also has like an agricultural center over here where they do some different things. But you'll often see crops in their fields out here. So plus we have the dairy farm over here. So to me it doesn't seem as bad as it used to be, but once in a while you'll go outside at night and you'll smell cows. Some people like that, you know, they grew up on a farm, they miss it. But for other people it's a little off-putting. You almost never ever smell it during the daytime, and it's only occasionally at night. And then as far as schools go, you know, Maricopa has its own school district, of course, but you know, depending on who you talk to, it may or may not be great. There's the Maricopa High School here, and you know, the rest are kind of sprinkled throughout. But a lot of people, rather than having their kids use the Maricopa school system, they will bus their kids all the way up here to the Kyrene School District. So there's the school buses will actually come by and grab them every morning. For us, we didn't want to go either of those routes. We heard some really good things about some of the charter schools around, so we played around with it a little bit. And let's see, there's I'm trying to get in here to the right level, Leading Edge Academy. There's Legacy. We've got the A+ charter schools here, Sequoia Pathway, which my daughter went to for a couple years, but now they both go to Heritage Academy, which is 6 to 12, age 6 to 12, or grade 6 to 12 rather. And word is that they're also going to be opening an elementary school around here too. So we really like Heritage Academy, can definitely recommend them on a personal level. And among other things, they don't have school on Fridays at all, but they're still very disciplined and have good academic records. And you know, your kids not having school on Friday may or may not be a good thing depending on what your own schedule is, but something to consider at least. So some other kind of smaller but important things to know about Maricopa: internet providers and cell phone coverage. I guess cell phone coverage is not great here in town. There's kind of some dead spots here and there. But overall, the consensus seems to be that T-Mobile has the best coverage, fewer dead zones, and just better speeds in general. Hopefully, they all kind of step up their game and improve coverage in the future. But for now, T-Mobile is the way to go if you have the choice. For internet service providers, we have a smaller carrier called Orbitel, and we have CenturyLink, and we have T-Mobile home internet, and all three of those kind of vary area by area. So if you figure out what neighborhood you're moving to, it'd be a good idea to ask people specifically in that neighborhood which one is the best. We also have Cox cable internet coming to Maricopa. They're currently installing and should be ready for us any day now. I'm looking forward to it. They are already active in some communities, but potentially will be much better than our other providers. And I'll give you an update when I find out. Okay, and now finally, for a lot of people when they are considering moving to a new area that they're not familiar with, one of the main things they want to know is it safe? What's the crime rate look like? Is it, well, a lot of other things that are kind of similar nature. And even if I have a strong opinion and know the area very well, I am actually not allowed to say my opinion or let you know things like that. So what I can do is I can refer you to a great resource, okay? And so I'm going to show you that real quick, all right? We're going to go to communitycrimemap.com/map, all right? All right, going to continue. So what it is this is a resource that will display crime in a given area throughout pretty much the entire United States. So it's great for comparing and seeing what kind of issues a particular area has. This is free to use. It's phenomenal. We're actually I'm gonna turn on something. So if you click filter and then analytic layer and then density map, it turns it into a heat map essentially. So, and I like heat maps. I think it really helps to visualize things. This will only show the last 500 incidences on screen. So you'll notice that here in Maricopa, there's not a lot displaying right now. We might have to zoom in a bit. Okay. Yeah, still not much showing up at all. And in fact, I think we're under 500 now. So, which almost makes it look like we never have crime here, which is not realistic. No, we do have crime, but we can also see there are certain types of crime that are auto-selected and a lot aren't. So this playing around with this allows you to prioritize things that are important to you. Fraud/forgery might not be something that's important to you, but then other things might be more important depending on your family makeup and whatnot. So let's just, for the sake of curiosity, apply all. And yeah, see, there we go. We get some hits. You can dial it in and find the things that are more important, less important to you. But again, if we zoom out so that it compares to the rest of the Phoenix metro area, still pretty sparse here in Maricopa. So hopefully that gives you a good indication of where things are at. There is definitely areas that have less reports of crime. And some that have more. Phoenix is, I think, the 5th largest city in the country by density or by population. Definitely not by density. But anytime you've got a big city, there's bound to be stuff going on. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me and sticking through to the end on this. If you made it all the way, I really appreciate that. Please let me know in the comments what other details you'd like to know about Maricopa or any of the other Phoenix suburb areas. I'm going to be covering a lot more of them very soon, and just want to be a great resource. And reach out to me if I can help you with a smooth move to the Phoenix area / Maricopa. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.